A blessed day to you, all my viewers and subscribers. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for checking this video out. We're going to talk some cricket, I know some of you guys are still upset about what went down in the first ODI game, but come on, we talk some cricket, man. So Ian Bishop, he's a well-respected cricket commentator here in the Caribbean and around the rest of the world. So usually when he's speaking, I tend to listen. And in yesterday's game, he was letting it be known that, listen, he doesn't necessarily agree with a lot of things that are actually going on in CWI, in West Indies cricket, as relates to some of the players that are being selected, the way in which the team is being set up when they are going out to bat. So we're going to talk about some of those stuff. We also see where veteran commentator Joseph Reds Pereira, he was also talking about the squad, and he was saying that, listen, this is the best squad yet from the selectors, and they seem to have gotten it right this time around. I was taking a look at the Guyana Times, and I saw this, so I decided that I'm going to share it with you all. So just give a listening ear and let us talk a little bit. So before we go down into Ian Bishop's part of the video, Joseph Reds Pereira, as I said, I was taking a look at the Guyana Times, and I saw where he was talking about the squad. Man was saying that he is happy with the squad, he's okay with the squad. The selectors got it right this time around. He was saying that they made a huge mistake in Zimbabwe, and they seem to have learned from that, and they have announced their best squad yet. He spoke about the youngsters in, Dominic Drakes and Hetmeyer coming back in, and he was saying that, listen, it's not like this necessarily going to mean that they're going to win or anything like that, but the selectors seem to have turned it around and have announced and have named a squad that people are more okay with. You understand, as it relates to the youngsters and the talent and stuff like that. Two things that he had a problem with though, and I think most of us are a little bit concerned also, is that he wasn't sure why Nicholas Pooran wasn't there, and same thing for Jason Hola. He was asking, why is it that similarly to how Hetmeyer could have left American and returned, why is it that Nicholas Pooran did not leave and come back to represent the West Indies? Jason Hola, we don't know, probably Jason Hola get dropped, but we are sure that it's not a case where Nicholas Pooran got dropped. Same thing with Akil Hussain. We are assuming that Hussain and Joseph probably wouldn't have gotten games, but we only can assume, you understand. But it would have been nice to hear exactly why Nicholas Pooran was unavailable. It could be a case where the man knows, say, listen, I am already cemented in this team. I'm going to miss these ODIs, and then I will come back for the T20s. Hetmeyer on the other hand now knows that he needs to work himself back in, so he probably would have had to make himself, available from the get-go, or else, or else they would have been held to pay. So I tend to agree with Reds Pereira in this one, that most of the players that were selected, we are okay with. The only person that probably Casey Carty, as I said, I rather to see him in the test team, but the fact that he got a half century in the last game, I think it was against Sri Lanka, would have been nice to see them they basically pull him in. So that is what Joseph was saying, my viewers and subscribers. So just let me know what you all think. If you want to see the entire article, you can check it out on the Guyana Times. I think it was written by the operator for Cricket Nation, Brandon. Usually gives some good insight into what's going on, so you can check that out there. Alright, moving on to Ian Bishop now. One of my favorites, my viewers and subscribers. So while he was commentating, I think I don't remember if it was Darren Ganga or Samuel Badri that he was speaking to at the time, and he was saying that, listen, he strongly disagree with a lot of what is happening in West Indies cricket. And he repeated it. He said strongly. He made sure that he put emphasis on strongly. Man said that he strongly disagree with a lot of what is happening in West Indies cricket. and saying that, you know, a lot of the selection is questionable, you know, and saying that in terms of how they even set up the batting lineup when they are going out to bat, he's really wondering who is coming up with these sort of decisions. You know, he alluded to Yannick Caraya having how many, 5 or so first class centuries being sent out to bat after Dominic Drakes, and you know, he was saying that even how the batting lineup is being handled, even simple things like that they need to sort out. You know, he spoke about Carty also, saying that, you know, he had a good innings against Sri Lanka in the qualifiers, and no, we're not hearing anything. You know, then he identified a couple of youngsters that they are expected to really hit the ground running and start doing the work in terms of the pace bowlers. You know, he spoke about O'Shane Thomas, Dominic Drakes, Alec McAllister, and Jaden Seals, and these guys coming back. Jordan, you know, saying these are good young cricketers that are waiting in the wings, and they really want people to take them up in hand and make sure that they are on the right path. You know, in terms of that little group there, he was saying that they need a leader, and Alzarri Joseph now at his age, think at the age of 26, needs to be the man there to step up and to be the senior man to start leading that pace attack. And then, you know, they have all of these guys that they can rotate in and out of the team to make sure that the team is on point. So yeah, those are some of the things that he was talking about, my viewers and subscribers, saying that West Indies team, you know, there are certain things that definitely need to be sorted out. And I agree, you know, because when you look at what's happening, the talent is coming through still, you know, not a lot as before. The talent is coming through, though. It's just that we need to find a way to get the guys playing. And we can continuously say these things, you know, but the fact that the regional program is so sloppy or is so little, you know, it doesn't provide good competition. You understand? And when you make it to the international scene now, you're hardly getting any competition. You play 2 test match here, and you have a space of probably a good 5 or 6 months to wait before you get another 2. You know, so these are all things that they need to address. But I definitely agree with Ian Bishop that, listen, there are things that are happening even at the managerial level that needs to be sorted out. We know that the players need to step it up, but there are certain decisions that they are getting wrong, and we have seen people, you know, talk about the selector and people wonder why people only pointing out Desmond Haynes, but we have to remember that he's the lead selector, so he has to sign off and everything. So, you know, these are some of the things that we are looking into. And as I said, I agree with Ian Bishop that, you know, there are things that are happening at the managerial level, there are things that are happening at the coaching level, and even on the field, that is really, really hard to understand why things are going this way. But just let me know what y'all think in the comment section on this one, my people. I'm gonna leave it right there for now. Big up.